Next up, I would like to invite my dear friend Ahmed Raza, the skipper of UAE, to have to probably throw us some light on this four ODI series. That's a home series, a home series coming in after a very long time. Obviously, yes, 1 year has gone by without much of cricket happening, and different formats being played. Ahmed, uh, first up, I know that difficult times personally, but then you have to change gears. And what is the plan? What is the strategy for hosting the four ODI series here and for the boys in the team?
Good afternoon, everyone. As the host captain, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone on this virtual press conference. I know we would have loved seeing everyone, in a normal press conference, but these are the times we are living in right now. So welcome everyone. And I think credit should be given to Emirates Cricket Board and Cricket Ireland for bringing this series together. And I think everyone who worked behind the scenes, the credit should be given to them. And I'd like to thank Andrew and his team for coming down to UAE and putting the trust in us, in our facilities, and Cricket Abu Dhabi for hosting this series. And it is our first bilateral series against Ireland ever since they got the full members status. So we are definitely looking forward to it, and I'm sure the viewers will enjoy some really good cricket in the coming week. It will be competitive, and hopefully, we can finish on the top. That will be obviously the first goal as a host captain. This is our own series, but as I said, there are a lot of people to thank. The sponsors doing all the work, getting the broadcasting team, and hoping for a really exciting 4 games.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Ahmed. And just as excited you are, I'm sure the Irish team is as well. Uh, a quick chat with the skipper of Ireland, Andrew. Andrew, first up, thank you so much for accepting the invitation and joining forces here in the UAE. Uh, Tell us, how has your experience been, the bio bubble protocols, and then the practice, and obviously the nice winter of UAE?
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you to everyone involved for getting us out here. It's such a strange time. To be able to come out to the UAE is always enjoyable, particularly to play cricket. And the boys are very excited. We went through all the protocols, all the testing, the isolation quarantine period when we first arrived, and to get out and get training in world-class facilities down at the stadium here in Abu Dhabi has been great. And we have quite a good, exciting young squad who are really looking forward to playing some ODI cricket. We didn't get a lot of cricket last year, but we also got more cricket than other teams, so we were fortunate there. And I think they're just really looking forward to hitting the ground running come Friday.
Also, a little more pressure as you're playing two series back to back, Andrew.
Yeah, it's a lot of cricket packed into kind of a small period of time, particularly having not played a lot of cricket. We have cold winters back home and there's not a lot of outdoor training. So we have to make sure that we prepare right. These 4 games are great series for all of us involved. We've had some good games against the UAE over the last few years. So it's a great opportunity for some of our guys to really stake a claim and put in some big performances. And then hopefully we can take that into the 3-match series against Afghanistan towards the end of the month.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And we wish you all the luck for both the series. In fact, starting up with the games against UAE, I'm sure that they are tough competitors, the homeboys there.
Thank you.
My next question would be an invitation to Kevin O'Brien. Kevin, fantastic series against England, and that's what you've come out of. That last game was an absolute thriller, and you being one of the senior guys in the team, how's the morale in the whole squad there? Winning a game against England in such a fashion.
Yeah, I think it's first of all, everyone in the squad played very well in that win. We prepared well for the series over in Hampshire, and thankfully got a very good result. Paul and Andrew batted very well to set up the run chase, for myself and Harry to kind of finish it. But ultimately, the bowlers did a great job to restrict England to probably a par total in the end. So it was a full team effort. It's another great opportunity for me and all the other guys to come out here and play against two very good sides in the UAE and Afghanistan. So yeah, it's another great learning curve for us as a squad, and something that we're really looking forward to get back into the thick of things of international cricket.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your words. And we definitely are looking forward to a fantastic series for coming forward for us. 4 ODIs, absolute, games which do not have too much of a rest time between them. Literally a game and a day off. Stressful for the lads there?
Yeah, well, I think we're well used to that now. I think we're a well-conditioned team. We're all very fit, and we've worked hard over the last 8 or 9 months. Through lockdown back home. Working on our fitness in the gym, and running on our own. When we couldn't train in the gyms, and I'm sure the UAE players are the same. So I think ultimately 4 games in 7 days will be tough, but I think fingers crossed we all get through it unscathed, and we can put our best team on the pitch every match. So that's obviously the main thing for us, is to try and win 4-0 leading into the Afghanistan series.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kevin. Now I would like to invite the members of press to ask questions to our esteemed panelists over here. One by one, Punya would help us to get the members of the press asking their questions, and I would request you 1 question, please. Punya, so who's coming in first? All right, so we have John Kenny coming in. John Kenny from RTE.
How are you doing? Andy, question for you. Afghanistan have tweeted that they may delay or delay the matches against you. Do you think that's going to happen? And do you think they're trying to pull a fast one by trying to get their players back from the Big Bash League?
Yeah, that was mentioned by a few of us today. There's talk that it could be pushed back a couple of days. That's not been confirmed. I wouldn't mind it that much because, as mentioned before, the 4 games coming thick and fast with just a day in between each game will be tough, particularly on the bowlers who haven't played a lot recently. So maybe another extra couple of days of rest might be good, but there's been a lot of stuff happening on Twitter recently about where we're going to play, when we're going to play. So it's important for us to maybe just focus on the 4 games that we know we're going to play and where we're going to play them coming up in Abu Dhabi against the UAE. So we'll kind of let the powers to be organise that, and we'll just put our pads on and pop down to wherever we're playing.
Lovely. Thank you so much, John, for your question. Next up, joining in is Ian Callender.
Hi, Andy. Let us know, how's the testing been going? Have you got another one before the match? And at the minute, is everyone available?
Yeah, everyone's available as it stands. We got our most recent test this morning, actually. So we'll get those results back tonight. That'll be about our 6th test, I think, since we've kind of started the journey out here. So we're going through all the protocols. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to get through. We have these fobs that monitor where exactly we are all the time. So there's all that close contact stuff is covered. So we're in a great environment. We've been very well looked after here. So all going well. We all get the clear tests towards the back end of today, and then we can have our last session tomorrow before Friday.
What have you actually done since you arrived?
We've just mainly trained. Yeah, we've just trained. We had a bit of middle practice at the start of the week. I've lost track of the days now. On Monday, I think it was. So we've managed to keep busy. At the same time, we don't overdo it. And there's a lot of cricket coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we don't want to kind of be overcooked. So we're training hard, but at the same time monitoring how everyone's getting on and making sure we're doing the right things.
How important is it to hit the ground running? Obviously it's a 4-match series, but the big series still ahead of it. But maybe not as important as just to get the boys back into action.
Yeah, to find balance, I think we don't get 4-match series a lot anymore. We haven't played the UAE in a 4-match series, so we have a lot of young guys and experienced guys in our squad who haven't played a lot of ODI cricket at all. So the opportunity to play 7 games before first up against the UAE and then 3 against Afghanistan is only going to benefit these guys. And in tough conditions out here, it's been pretty hot. there's not a lot of kind of bowler friendly conditions out here, so it will be tough. But we're very fortunate that we get to play 7 ODIs. I don't think we even played 7 ODIs last year, so the guys are just really looking forward to it.
You worried about injuries then with the bowlers? Is that possible? Are they all raring to go?
Bowlers are all round to go. Naturally, with all this cricket, we've got to make sure that we're doing the right things with them. Whether it's maybe giving one of them a rest during one of the games, we might have to look at that. But at the moment, they're all round to go and looking forward to the first game.
Is Paul Sterling okay? Is he obviously didn't. He's the only one who's played cricket in the last few months. He didn't have a great time in Sri Lanka, but his confidence still high.
Yeah, he's been hitting them really well in the nets. He's obviously our best batsman, and when he's firing, we tend to go pretty well. But no, I'm really happy with how he's going in the nets. So all good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ian. And I would request the members of press to limit it to one question, please. So we've got a bunch of international press waiting in. The next one in is Rory Dollard.
Hi there. If I could ask, am I okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Yeah. If I could ask both captains, please, starting with Andy. Over this period of the COVID, I just wonder, have you had moments where you were concerned about how much cricket was going to be behind you? Obviously, we've seen England have played lots and lots of cricket. India and Australia are going to plan to play lots and lots of cricket. Has there been concerns from your end that there's still going to be the support and the framework and enough cricket for you to play going forward? I know this is a nice few weeks coming up for you, but I just wondered what your mindset was about how much support there is for your cricket going forward.
Yeah, look, it's naturally, it's been a bit of a staggered 12 or 14 months. At the start of last year, we had a schedule that looked pretty good, and with a lot of cricket, a couple of World Cups thrown in there, and then that sort of goes out the window when a global pandemic comes across. But we've been very fortunate with the people we have back home, that when we've had a period of time where we've had no cricket, we've been in the gym or we've been in the nets working really hard to make sure that when the call does come, we're ready to go. Like I said, 7 ODIs doesn't, in this short space of time, doesn't happen that often. So we're very fortunate that we get that opportunity. And going forward, looking at the schedule, it's a lot to be excited about for an Irish cricket player, but also a fan. All going well, we'll have a home summer with some big international teams coming over, and we can look forward to those. But like anything in life at the moment, you've just got to take each game, take each day as it comes, and just be fortunate that we get to do what we do for a living.
Thanks. Same for UAE. Any concerns about how much cricket is going to be available to you guys from the other nations?
Look, yeah, it was definitely concerning, but I think we were pretty lucky to be in the UAE. The government, and the concerned authorities actually took care of this pandemic very well, and we were able to hit the ground running, before any other, associate nation or other countries, and then we obviously conducted a domestic tournament, which was live, which was streamed live, and then we had another T20 tournament, and we were probably one of the first teams to be hitting the ground running. Even we had pretty much a busy calendar, but it was obviously postponed due to the pandemic, and I mean, now it's only better if we look forward to what this year holds. But I agree with Andy. I mean, we cannot. We have to take each game, each series at a time. We unfortunately cannot really plan much ahead of ourselves. So we have to obviously look at the series and then see what rest of the year holds for us.
Thank you so much, Rory. Next up is going to be Anuj Mishra.
Yeah, my question is for Andy. Andrew, you and Paul Sterling were brilliant in Ireland memorial chase against England's last summer, and Irish side has done it so many times, having proved their mettle in the white ball game so many times. So how would how big would it be to have an Irish representation in the Indian Premier League?
It'd be massive. It's it's the best T20 league in the world with the best players in the world. So for any of us to experience that, I know Ahmed was part of it with the challenges this year, and he could probably say how good an experience it is for just your game, getting to talk to the best players, the best coaches in the world, and the exposure that it gives you. I've no doubt that we'd bite your hand off to get a chance to play in the IPL, but to get that opportunity, we've got to put in performances for Ireland and get Ireland to the top table on a more regular basis, and put in performances like we did against England on a more regular basis, so that maybe teams in these sort of leagues maybe have a look at us and see what we can offer to them.
And how crucial will be the UAE series, because it is a build up to the Afghanistan series, in which you can grab the crucial Super League points.
Yeah, all ODIs are important for us. We don't take any sort of game for granted. Like I said before, we've got a team who haven't played a lot of ODIs, so these 7 games are going to be great experience for them. Naturally, the 3 games against Afghanistan have those points going towards the 2023 World Cup. So there's a lot riding on those games, but there's a lot riding on the 4 games as well. We've come out here to win 7 games of cricket, and we've got to hit the ground running. Having no cricket behind us, we've got to really make sure we hit our straps on Friday, because the UAE are a good and dangerous team. They beat us last year in the T20 qualifiers in the same stadium. So we certainly want to put things right and put in good performances.
Thank you so much, Anuj. Next up is Bernard Whelan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Hello, you can hear me okay, great. Just a question for both skippers. I mean, I think, Andy, you mentioned earlier on you were doing a lot of training individually in the gym, and there's obviously, for both teams, there's a limited amount of time with the current situation we're in with regarding the whole COVID restrictions to work, to train as a team. Is that proving difficult, or are you adjusting to that, obviously in a more familiar pattern now?
Yeah, for us particularly, we got back playing or training around May or June time, and that was certainly very kind of baby steps, making sure that we were doing everything right. And then sort of post summer, maybe October, November, it was very much small pods in the gym at Abbottstown at the National Sports Campus, and then one-on-ones with the coach in North County. It's certainly different, because being a cricketer and spending a lot of time on the road, you do spend a lot of time with your teammates and your colleagues, and then not getting those interactions is a bit strange, and it's not very enjoyable, truth be told. But out here, it's been very good. It's been great to just kind of get back at it, chatting about cricket with your mates in the nets, or over a dinner, or over a beer, or whatever it is. So it's certainly nice to be out here and just maybe away from kind of the strict protocols that we had when we were back home.
And for the UAE skipper as well?
I mean, as I said earlier, I think we started training together as a wider squad, going back 2 or 3 months before. So, once the series was confirmed, obviously we had a shorter squad then, and then, we've been very lucky with the facilities and the country we live in. It was obviously a controlled environment, and we took all the precautions, but we were able to train together. But again, when you pick a squad, and then, once you start, preparing for a series, and obviously in these situations, these times, we had to stay in quarantine for 3 days, but then we were back at training. So it's been actually really good to be together, and obviously the first series after a year's layoff. So it's been really good.
Thanks, Ahmed. Thanks, Andrew, and best of luck in the series.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernard. Next up is Shubham Pandey.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. This first question is to Andy. I would like to take your focus to Test cricket. Ireland had been left out of the Test Championship, and there are not many Test matches scheduled for Ireland. There were only 12 between 2019 and 2022. and COVID has eaten out the whole 2020. Do you think playing a fewer matches against top test sides are enough for Ireland to progress at this level, at the test match level?
Yeah, look, there's no hiding from the fact that we don't have a lot of Test cricket. We are a full member Test nation, but we don't play a lot of Test cricket. I think we've maybe one scheduled Test this year at the end of the year against Sri Lanka, which is obviously very exciting. We can look forward to that at the time, but a lot of our focus has to be on white ball cricket. We have this World Super League to look forward to. We've got the T20 World Cup in India in October, November time. So, look, Test cricket is the pinnacle of the game, in my opinion, and I've been very fortunate to get the opportunity to play some Test cricket. But look, it's not there for us at the moment to play a lot of it, which is a shame because, you know, once you play a couple of games, you want to play more. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. But what we can do is just focus as much as we can on the white ball game and look to progress as much as we can in that.
Yeah, my second question is for Raza. Robin Singh has joined the team as director of cricket and head coach. How much time has he spent with the team? Is there any time he has spent with the team, or is there any talks with him that you want to speak about?
Obviously, he is our head coach, so he spent a lot of time with us, and obviously he brings a wealth of knowledge with him, and looking at his trophy cabinet, I think there's hardly anything which he hasn't won. So that is something really nice to know, and he's a very hardworking man, and he expects the same from all of us. And the interaction obviously has been really good. We've been together. I mean, due to the lockdown and stuff, he was stuck in India for a couple of months, but then he came back, and he's won another trophy with Mumbai Indians. So hopefully he can do the same with the UAE in this series, and hopefully in the coming series in this year.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Next up, would like to invite Ollie Thorpe.
Hi, Andy. Just a quick one from me. There are a few key series coming up this year, and obviously the World Cup at the end. There's 4 games here and a few against Afghanistan as well. There's no Boyd Rankin, there's no Guy Wilson, there's no William Porterfield either. And I was just wondering, how important is it that the likes of Curtis Camphor, Harry Tactor, Lorcan Tucker, and Neil Rock all step up in this series and beyond? I mean, how much do you want them to push on, and what's your message to them throughout this year? What's the message going to be?
I think it's just going to be to back themselves. They've got opportunities now in the next month to really stake a claim for that place. You mentioned the guys who aren't with us who've done so much for the game, as well as people like Kevin and Paul who are still involved, and they've kind of given us the opportunity to play this international cricket so regularly as we do. And they're young guys, and they're great in the nets. They train really hard, and they've got all these ideas and shots. And what we just want to see is them to go out and express themselves and do that on the park. It's a lot easier said than done. The conditions out here aren't what they're used to back home, but certainly to have that kind of competitiveness with the guys you mentioned back home who can still offer something to this squad, no doubt, and then the guys out here to maybe just stake a claim and go out and enjoy themselves. There's a lot of that group who have played a lot of underage cricket together with each other, so it's exciting. It's exciting for me to be kind of involved with, but I suppose us senior players as well have to push that on and put in the performances as well, so that they can come in and do the same. So I'm really looking forward to the year ahead and seeing how some of these guys adapt to all these different situations we're going to be in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ollie. Next up, Matt Roller.
Hi, just a couple to Ahmed, please. Named quite a young squad this morning. I just wanted to know what the sort of minimum expectation is from this series. Are you targeting a series win, or is it more about performances from some of the new faces?
I think before any series, you want to win every cricket game you play, and this series is nothing different. We want to obviously win all the games and win the series. We're playing in our own backyard, so obviously the expectation level is high from us. And looking at the younger guys, I think it's a good mix of youth and experience And obviously you have to keep an eye on 2023 World Cup, which is the 50 over World Cup. So that's 3 years down the line. So the young players, you expect them to do well. You identify them, and then you want to groom the talent, for the long run, so they can serve UAE cricket in the future. And looking at the four or five youngsters which we have in the squad, they all played the Under-19 World Cup, and they put in the performances, and they've earned their right to be in the squad.
And then just to follow up, if I can, I think you and a couple of others in the squad were involved in the IPL, sort of training with a couple of franchises there. Could you just sort of talk a little bit about that experience and what you learned from it?
Yeah, definitely. That was massive, and the experience you get over there, and obviously training with the likes of Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, and you're bowling to them. I had Karthik Meyyappan with me, who was in the squad as well, and then Zahoor was with the Mumbai Indians. Look, I can speak on their behalf as well. When we left IPL, we just felt that we've obviously gained a lot, and when we played our side games, and we felt that. You just start. It's hard to explain in words, but you just start feeling differently, and you're just a little different in your approach as well. So I hope we can whatever we learned over that period, we can showcase that in performances in this series.
Thank you so much, Matt. Next up, Shyam Sundar. Shyam, you'll need to unmute yourself to be audible. Shyam, to ask your question, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yes, please go ahead. Shyam, could you please ask your question? Hi, Shyam.
We can move to the next one if Shyam is not audible.
Right, Shyam, we could probably move to Elizabeth Botcherby so that we can get back to you, Shyam. We have Elizabeth lined up. Yep.
Yeah. Hi, this is one for both captains. Just with the kind of bubble restrictions, how are you managing that, particularly for the young players? For example, like Neil Rock, who've never experienced the bubble environment before.
Yeah, for us, it's, we were fortunate to get an opportunity to play against England in Southampton and experience the bubble. I suppose you can't really complain when you're getting to play cricket. It's not the easiest. There is a lot of time in your own. We're separated at dinner in terms of seating arrangements. You have to be spread out. So there's not too much communication, which is a bit odd, but we do have access to a pool and a beach and stuff. And I suppose just being able to go out and train most days and getting the opportunity to play, try and not take that for granted. But it's certainly unique, and you don't want your young players to come out here and just sit in their rooms the whole time. You want them to interact and get to learn off some of the senior players. And we're right beside the Grand Mosque here in Abu Dhabi, and it would be nice to be able to just maybe go there for a day and have a look around there. But it is what it is, and we've just got to focus on the cricket because that's what we're here for.
Are you concerned at all about kind of bubble fatigue setting in with 7 matches in 16 days?
Potentially, we'll have to certainly monitor that and make sure that we're getting around the guys and talking to them and finding out about them. There's been a lot written about bubbles recently and long tours, and hopefully it doesn't continue for that much longer. It's certainly it's fine because you're able to play the matches, but it can maybe wear off. Tours generally can maybe be tough, particularly if performances aren't going your way. So we just got to look out for each other and make sure that we communicate, because naturally people will have tougher days than others. So we've just got to make sure that we're able to help them along whenever they're like that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Since Mr. Shamsundar couldn't ask his question, so I'll ask it on his behalf. The question was, let's guess for both the skippers, how difficult is it to be playing after a long gap? We'd go with Andrew.
Yeah, I suppose I could maybe tell you on Friday night if it's difficult, because we could look at the scorecard. But it will be strange. Paul's played in the Sri Lankan league, so he's probably the only one out of our group. We had a couple of guys playing in the English T20 competition, but apart from that, most of us haven't played since the end of September, October. So we have had periods where we haven't played, even pre-COVID. So we've done enough training and kind of seeing how the guys have gone about training and stuff. Everyone looks in relatively good nick. So I think once the games come, it'll just be about focusing on them, and I'm pretty confident that the guys will be able to put in performances straight away.
Right. Same question for Ahmed. Yes, the boys have played individually in the domestic circuit, but as a squad, as a unit, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, definitely it is. But again, I think having some cricket, which we played in the last few months helped. Obviously we haven't played any international cricket for about a year, and but again, it's something which was very new to all of us. We are really happy to be together as a squad, and we're just looking forward to play some international cricket.
Lovely. So I guess that was the last question from the press, and which I got to ask. So yeah, lucky me. So thank you so much, all of you. It was a fantastic conversation that we had with all of you in participation. Mubashir, Vivek, we had Mr. Coimbra, and then Ahmed, Andy, and Kevin. Thank you so much for joining in. Would like to thank our sponsors again, sky247.net. And well, as they say, may the best team win. Let's ensure that we give all our spectators some fantastic cricket to watch, and stay safe while doing that. Thank you so much, and see you on the field of play.
Thank you, everyone. See you.